What's up, guys? It's Josh with SobrietyWoD. Welcome back. If you've been before, if not, welcome. If it's your first time, just relax and enjoy. Today we're going to talk about something that I've been, that I couldn't have really understood until kind of getting on the backside of using and drinking, and it involves the ism part of my alcoholism. And it's kind of a silly way to refer to it, but what we're talking about with the ism is really just all the things that are a part of our condition that have nothing to do with using, or that don't involve the direct consequences of using. And it's taken me a lot of time and a lot of help from others to really see what that is, because it's all I know of myself, and behaviors and thought processes and things that lead to me being in a bad place. So I think that one of the first parts of kind of awakening and realizing that we have a problem and all that involves us admitting the fact that, using is obviously causing a lot of my problems. So typically we come in and it's like, or I came in and it was like, all right, I finally agree. I can see where, maybe if I cut back on drinking a little bit, things might get a little better. Okay, it took years, but it was like, maybe I'm drinking too much, maybe I'm using too much. Maybe that is why I'm missing work, or why I'm having relationship problems, or all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the first part, and people been knowing that. It's just we finally get to a point, usually it's a pretty bad point, where we're willing to admit that. So we realize that the thing is a problem, and I think the typical process is, okay, the thing is a problem, how do I stop doing the thing? And so a lot of us get into a recovery situation or rehab, and we just want to know how to not drink as much, or how to not use as much. Then we come to find out that there's a whole nother thing that we have to start learning about, that we have to become aware of, and that is, why do I keep wanting to drink? Why do I keep wanting to use? And that's a harder part to admit. For years, a lot of us have blamed others. We don't typically see when we first get started that we have some responsibility in the situation. We blame other places, other people, other institutions, other things, and we tend to kind of cast off our situation as they're doing. Well, the problem with that is we can't change other people, right? And that's something that we struggle with, but we have to learn if we're going to make any progress. Nobody denies that we've experienced some harms, that people have done us wrong, or we've been in some fucked up situations. That's not the point, is to make you think that's not true. The point is to help you figure out it's not going to change. We can't undo that stuff. So how do we move forward, right? How do we get free from that? And understanding that my using was the cause of a lot of my problems, but that I ultimately am the cause of my using, right? So one of the things that happens whenever we blame other people, places, and institutions and things and all that kind of stuff is we tend to cut off our relationship with them. So, typically things, either negative situations, negative emotions, either stem from resentments or fear. And I think that in this situation, it's either we're resentful of harms that have been done to us, or perceived harms that have been done to us, or we're afraid of future harm that could be done to us. And so what happens is our disease kind of activates one of its most potent tactics to get us back into that situation that causes us to use, and that's isolation, right? That's one of the first things that I can notice when things are going wrong, is that I start to withdraw, right? When I'm healthy and good, like I'm involved and I'm participating, I'm helping out, I'm concerned about others, I pay attention to their needs because I'm content. But when I'm messed up, man, the first thing that happens, I don't want to be around anybody, I don't want to talk to anybody, I just want to sit in my room, I want to read, I'm going to go pray by myself. And the reality is that that is one of the biggest limiting factors in our lives. That's one of the biggest things that can really cut us off from the support that we need. I've had that. I've had those feelings. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to go in my room and I actually chained myself to some furniture one time. That's a long story. Had to call the cops to free me so I could go get some more alcohol. But This idea that we're going to recover on our own, that we're going to figure it out, you know, it's part of the obsession of every addict and every alcoholic. And the truth is that there is a power that's available in a group that is almost inexplicable. When we attach to other people, when we open ourselves, we share our lives and our struggles and our problems and our help and our strengths with other people, something magic happens. And that's the best way I like to explain it, because it's almost like magic. So for the discussion today, we want to look at just talking about where in your life, or share with each other where in your life you've seen a tendency towards isolation, whether before sobriety or in recovery or, you know, inactive addiction. Where do you see that isolation thing in your life? You know, I grew up grounded and playing Nintendo. Isolation was my thing. I didn't know that's what I was doing, but I was alone all the time. Not a good place for me. Also, what effects do you look back and notice that it had on you? What are some times where you isolated or where you withdrew? Did you get stronger? Did you get better at whatever it is that you isolated from? Or did you struggle, you know? And then the third thing is, how did you notice it? And then what did you do about it? I know that for me, I usually notice it. That's why I go to meetings and read and stuff, because it's like something will be said or somebody will explain something and they'll say that they kind of realize that they were isolating. And I'm like, oh shit, I do that. I didn't think about that as being isolation, you know, or isolating, or my disease isolating me, trying to cut me off, you know. The truth is that we're stronger together, right? So you guys discuss that, and then we'll come back real quick for the workout and get started.